I wasn't quite sure how to begin this series. Of course, I technically began it last week, but last week was just a wee introduction, it wasn't like an actual episode. So I wondered, should I talk about one of my favourite films? Should I talk about a film that's popular at the minute? Or just about something that I've seen recently? But then one film wouldn't leave my mind, I kept thinking about it, and it does happen to be one of my favourite films, but it also happens to be one that I watched again recently, and that film is the 2010 Norwegian found footage horror Troll Hunter. The film centres around a group of Norwegian college students who are making a documentary about bear poachings popping up all across Norway. Now they think they found the poacher, a man named Hans, after seeing him at the site of one of the poachings. So they decide to follow him up a mountain one night. They do so, only to find out that no, he's actually not hunting bears, he's actually hunting the old trolls of the area. Hans is tired of his job, says it's quite difficult and quite dangerous, which it is, and also doesn't like the fact that the Norwegian government is withholding this information from the public and not letting them know about trolls. So he decides to let the documentary crew come along, document everything, with the aim of getting it onto TV. And what follows is probably the most interesting found footage mockumentary style film that I've ever seen. The film does some really interesting things. For example, there's a veterinarian character, and she's able to give the students quite real sounding medical reasons that the trolls do what they do, why they turn to stone whenever they're exposed to UV light, but they call it calcification and all that sort of stuff. And she almost talks about them like it's wildlife that you would find, just in Norway anyway. But besides all that, the movie still finds a way to incorporate some interesting things from troll mythology and legends. For example, the old story about the troll can smell the blood of a Christian man. Well, one of the students happens to be a Christian man, which starts to get them into bother because the trolls can smell him first. And then later in the film, they're joined by a fourth student who happens to be a Muslim. So they actually have a conversation with each other being like, is that going to have the same effect? Are we going to be okay? Like, what's going to happen? It's little things like that, and then the classic troll under the bridge making an appearance that just make the film so interesting to me for some reason. It's tying together old folklore about trolls and combining it with a very modern day realistic take on it, and then putting all that in a found footage documentary style film. I don't know why, I just find it so interesting. I really don't want to spoil any more of it for you, so if you can, I highly recommend checking it out. There's a few other things to note as well. Firstly, it being set in forests and mountains in western Norway. The setting looks beautiful. There were a few times when I was re-watching it recently with my good friend Michael that we were just watching it and then ignored the trolls and the rest of it, just the shots of the Norwegian, there was valleys and stuff like that. It just looks like a beautiful location, so that was pretty nice. The film also tried to accomplish a wee bit of a Blair Witch is it real sort of thing by hiding the cast, the crew names, and even the title of the film pretty much up until the premiere. And in fact, one thing they've done that was actually really cool is they got a former Norwegian Prime Minister, Jens Stoltenberg, to basically accidentally admit on live TV that trolls are real. Now I think the clip was doctored, I'm not quite sure, I don't think he was in on it, I think it was doctored. Either way, that helps to exacerbate the whole Blair Witch, is it real type of thing. Another interesting fact as well is similar to another Scandinavian horror film, Let the Right One In, which got an American remake, Let Me In. Troll Hunter was supposed to get the same treatment, but apparently the project fell apart in 2016. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe good, I don't know. The CGI also, for a Norwegian found footage horror film in 2010, the CGI holds up pretty well. Now, I'm sure the fact that most of the troll appearances are at night probably helped this, but regardless, like, it still looks pretty good today. I would love at some point if it got like a 4K Blu-ray release, because I don't know, it would just look good. But that was Troll Hunter. I'll be honest, I wasn't really sure how to start or what to do with this series, or what I should even talk about on them, but I think with the title, like a wee talk about, maybe just having a wee chat about films that I like, and maybe some details about them, isn't such a bad way to do it. I mean, I had fun making it, so. I also just want to say as well, thank you to anyone who's watched the videos over the past week. Of course there have been, and probably still will be, some teething problems to get this daily content going, but I've really had fun doing it, and I've really enjoyed what I've done so far, and I look forward to turning these series into their full potential, making them as quality as they can be. I'm really just taking This Was Film, the online side of it, as far as I can, so I really appreciate anyone who's taking the time to watch anything. So take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.